You ever look at your bank account and feel like you're doing everything right, but nothing's actually changing? Like, you're working hard, you're paying your bills. Maybe you're even saving a little bit here and there. But when you really look at the numbers, it doesn't feel like you're getting anywhere. I've been there, and I know how frustrating that is. But here's the thing. There's one specific number that completely flips the script. And once you hit it, everything about your money starts working differently. That number is $20,000. And no, I'm not talking about making $20,000 a year. I'm talking about having $20,000 saved and invested. Let me show you why this changes everything, even if you're just starting out. So, real talk, most people think building wealth is this complicated thing that only rich people understand. Like you need some secret strategy, or you need to make 6 figures, or you need to be good at math, or investing, or whatever. But that's not true. The truth is way simpler. And honestly, kind of frustrating when you realize how simple it actually is. Because the real reason most people stay broke isn't that they don't make enough money. It's that they quit right before things start working. And I don't want that to be you. So stick with me for the next few minutes. Because what I'm about to break down is going to completely change the way you think about saving and investing. Let me tell you where I was a few years ago. I had just graduated, got my first real job. I was making about $42,000 a year, and after taxes, student loans, rent, groceries, gas, I was barely scraping by. I'd save maybe $100 one month. Then something would come up, car repair, medical bill, just life stuff, and boom, gone. And I remember thinking, how is anyone supposed to actually get ahead like this? Everyone's out here talking about investing and retirement accounts and building wealth. But when you're living paycheck to paycheck, that stuff feels like a joke. But then something shifted for me. I stopped waiting for the perfect moment. I stopped making excuses, and I just started saving something, anything, even if it was $20 a week. And over time, it added up. But here's what nobody tells you. The beginning is brutal, like painfully slow. You're putting in all this effort, and it feels like nothing's happening. And that's where most people give up. But if you can push through that part, if you can survive the slow grind at the beginning, everything changes. And the point where it changes. $20,000? Here's what I wish someone had told me when I was just starting out. Building wealth isn't about making a ton of money. It's about understanding how money actually grows. And most people get this completely wrong. They think it's gonna be a straight line. Like, okay, if I save $5,000 in 1 year, then in 10 years I'll have $50,000, and in 20 years, $100,000. But that's not how it works. Money doesn't grow in a straight line. It grows on a curve. And the early part of that curve looks flat, like almost nothing is happening. You're putting in the work, but the results feel tiny. So people look at their account after a year. They see $5,000 or $6,000, and they think, what's the point? This is gonna take forever, and they quit. But here's the thing. That flat part of the curve, that's the most important part, because that's where the foundation gets built. That's where compound interest starts doing its thing. And once it kicks in, the growth accelerates fast. But you have to survive the flat part first, and most people don't. Let me show you exactly what I mean with some real numbers. Let's say you save $400 a month. That's totally doable for most people, even on a normal salary. Maybe you cut back on eating out a few times. Cancel a subscription you don't use, skip some impulse buys on Amazon, whatever it takes. $400 a month is about $4,800 a year. Add a little bit of interest or investment returns, and you've got roughly $5,000 after 1 year. Now, I know what you're thinking. $5,000? That's it? After a whole year of sacrifice? Yeah, that's the part that makes people want to quit. But here's where it gets interesting. Let's say you keep going. You don't stop. You keep putting in that $400 a month. By year 2, you've got about $10,000. By year 3, maybe $15,000. And then something starts to happen. Your money starts making money. Let's say you've got $20,000 invested, and you're getting a 10% return. That's $2,000 you just earned without doing anything, without working overtime, without asking for a raise. Your money earned it for you. Now, $2,000 in a year might not sound huge, but here's the key. That $2,000 also starts compounding. And as your balance grows, so do your returns. By the time you hit $50,000, you're making $5,000 a year in returns. That's more than you're putting in from your paycheck. And at $100,000, you're making $10,000 a year. Your money is doing a full-time job for you. That's the power of compound growth. But you never get there if you quit during the slow part. Now here's the other thing that happens at $20,000. And honestly, this might be even more important than the math. Your mindset shifts. Because once you hit $20,000, you're not the same person anymore. You're not someone who can't save money. You've got proof. Real, undeniable proof that you can do this. And that changes everything. You start thinking differently. You start planning differently. You start believing that financial freedom is actually possible for you. Plus, you've got options now. You're not one car repair away from being broke. You're not panicking every time something unexpected comes up. You've got a cushion. You've got breathing room. And that psychological shift is huge. Because when you feel secure, you make better decisions. You don't take the first job offer out of desperation. You don't stay in a bad situation just because you need the paycheck. You've got leverage now, and that's what $20,000 gives you. It's not just a number in your bank account. It's a completely different relationship with money and with your life. Alright, now let's talk about the stuff that keeps people from getting there, because I see the same mistakes over and over. And honestly, these are the things that destroy people's wealth before it even has a chance to grow. Mistake number 1, impatience. We live in a world where everything is instant. You want food? DoorDash. You want a new shirt? Amazon Prime? Same-day delivery? You want to watch a movie? It's already streaming. And our brains get wired to expect instant results with everything, including money. But building wealth doesn't work like that. It takes time, especially at the beginning. And if you can't handle that, if you need to see results right now, you're gonna spend your way out of wealth before you ever build it. Mistake number 2, lifestyle creep. This one sneaks up on you. You get a raise at work. Suddenly, you're upgrading your apartment, buying a nicer car, eating out more, getting that premium gym membership. Your income goes up, but so does your spending. And you end up in the exact same financial position as before, just with nicer stuff. The gap between what you earn and what you spend, that's your wealth-building engine. And if you let lifestyle creep close that gap, you'll never build anything. Mistake number 3, comparison. Social media makes this one brutal. You're scrolling Instagram, everyone's on vacation, everyone's got new cars, everyone looks like they're winning at life, and you start thinking you're falling behind. But here's the truth. You have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. Half those people are drowning in debt. The other half got help from their parents, and the rest are just faking it for the gram. Comparing your financial journey to someone else's highlight reel is a guaranteed way to stay stuck. Your path is your path. Focus on that. Let me tell you a quick story that really drove this home for me. There was this guy, insanely talented, one of the most gifted people to ever live. Mozart? Yeah, that Mozart, the composer. This dude was making serious money for his time. He was famous. He was at the top of his field. And he died completely broke. Why? Because every time his income went up, his spending went up even more. He lived beyond his means his entire life, and no amount of talent or income could save him from that. So, if Mozart couldn't get away with spending everything he made, what makes you think you can? The point is this: your income level doesn't determine whether you build wealth. What determines it is the gap between what you make and what you spend, and then what you do with that gap. If you invest it, it compounds. If you spend it, it's gone forever. That's the whole game. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. The people you hang out with have a massive impact on your financial future. Not because they're gonna give you money, but because they shape how you think about money. If everyone around you is broke and spending every paycheck on stuff they don't need, that becomes your normal. But if you start hanging around people who are actually building something, people who talk about investing, side hustles, financial goals, that becomes your normal instead. I'm not saying ditch all your friends. I'm just saying be intentional about who you're learning from. Find people who are a few steps ahead of you financially. People who are doing what you want to be doing. And pay attention to how they think, how they spend, how they prioritize. Your network isn't just about who you know. It's about who's influencing your mindset. And if you want to build wealth, you need people around you who are also trying to build wealth. That's how you level up. Let me be real about something for a second. When I first started trying to build wealth, I thought it was all about stuff. A nice car, a big house, fancy vacations, and yeah, those things are great. But that's not what financial freedom actually feels like when you get there. Real freedom is about options. It's about being able to say no. No to a job that makes you miserable, no to a boss who doesn't respect you, no to working yourself into the ground just to survive. When you've got money saved and invested, you get to make choices based on what's actually good for you, not just what keeps the lights on. You can take a risk on a new career. You can wait for the right opportunity instead of jumping at the first thing that comes along. You can handle an emergency without panicking. You can breathe. And that shift from being stuck to being in control, that's what $20,000 starts to unlock. Alright, so here's exactly what I want you to do this week. Not next month. Not when you feel ready. This week, step 1. Figure out how much you can realistically save each month, even if it's just $50. The amount doesn't matter as much as the consistency. Step 2. Open a brokerage account if you don't have one. Fidelity, Vanguard, Charles Schwab, they're all solid. And start putting your savings into a low-cost index fund like the S&P 500. Don't overthink it. Just start. Step 3. Automate it. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your investment account every single month. Pay yourself first, before rent, before anything else. Step 4. Stop checking it every day. Seriously, the more you look, the more tempted you're gonna be to mess with it. Just let it sit. Let it grow. Step 5. Keep learning. Read books, watch videos, listen to podcasts. The more you understand about how money works, the better your decisions will be. And better decisions compound just like money does. Look, I know the beginning is hard. I know it feels slow. I know it feels like nothing's happening. But trust me on this. If you stick with it, if you survive that flat part of the curve, everything changes. $20,000 is the turning point. It's where your money starts pulling its weight. It's where your mindset shifts. It's where you stop feeling stuck and start feeling like you've got options. And you can get there, even on a normal salary. Even if you're starting from zero, you just have to start, and you have to keep going. If this video helped you, smash that like button. It helps more people find this stuff. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. I've got way more videos coming on building wealth, investing, and leveling up your life. Drop a comment and let me know what's your biggest takeaway from this. This is Ethan, from Growth with Ethan. Let's build something together. I'll see you in the next one.